10:40 Eastern Standard Time, 10:40 p.m. We are live, of course, 10:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is War Notes from the Front Porch with your host, Paviel G. Iran has just delivered a defiant message. They doubt Israel will honor the ceasefire and are ready to strike again with force. Senior Iranian commanders claim they've only responded to aggression, not made the first move, and vow they'll hit back even harder if attacked again. Tonight, let's unpack what this means, because if this ceasefire shatters, the fallout could be global and can show up on our front porch. What's going on? Iran walks back the ceasefire. Iran's armed forces commander, Abdul Rahim Mousavi, said they seriously doubt Israel will stick to the ceasefire, warned, quote, ready to respond with force, end quote, to any new aggression. They also accused Israel of killing 71 prisoners at Evin prison in Tehran during a June 23rd airstrike, prompting further outrage. So is peace on pause? 6 days since the U.S. brokered ceasefire, tensions are still sky high. Iran has demanded the UN formally name and condemn the aggressor, signaling deep mistrust. 12-day conflict ended with 627 dead in Iran and 28 in Israel. But Iran's threat to resume strikes suggests the truce is hanging by a thread, according to TheGuardian.com and 4 other reputable sources. Now, why it matters to you and I. This isn't a quiet pause. It's a lid on a pressure cooker. Any further misstep, like another perceived attack or strike, could trigger missiles again, endangering civilian areas and risking broader war. This instability also affects global markets, food supplies, and heightens danger for Americans abroad. Now, here's the porch question for the night. Do you believe Iran will follow through, launching strikes again? Do you believe Iran will follow through, launching strikes again? Please comment below, and I would love to hear from you, and I shall respond. This program shall respond. We are happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. Now, tonight's takeaway. Hi, your boy Trippy. How you doing? Welcome to the program. I welcome you. Yes, I welcome you here. Tonight's takeaway, Iran is not backing down, and neither should our precautions. I am Paviel G. Please share this with someone who needs to be aware. And hi, Black and White Drawer, welcome. Subscribe for your front porch clarity. No fluff, just truth. When treaties crumble, real prep begins. And please stay sharp. And yes, boy Trippy, welcome to the program. And here, what we do is we just provide the updated, or I provide, shall I say, the updated news. The updated news on the war that's going on with Iran and USA, China, Taiwan, Russia, and Ukraine, and many other subjects that I'm sure that you would love to hear. Please make sure that you subscribe. It is free to do. Make sure you check into the program, and I'm constantly giving lives throughout the day, on the hour, by the hour, God willing, and keeping up with the latest news and everything that my folks like you want or may want to hear. And unfortunately, yes, we are in war. Bombs are not dropping here on the United States, but we have attack on United States turfs, and we shall get ready. I shall say, I talk a lot about folks having their go bags and having things ready, because some folks think, well, if the missile's not dropping here on my house, I'm safe and I'm good to go. However, this is not the case. A lot of folks have military or folks, family that are in the military, and now they have to go and be deployed over to these countries and try to defend us. And no, we are not dead. We just have to pray, and we must keep the hope alive and keep the little bit of faith that we have in the government of the United States, because it's not much. And at the end of the day, here on this channel, let me tell you right now, and I'm very clear with this, there is no blue and red here. We are all human beings, and we are all suffering, and we are all feeling the pain of the decisions that Yellow Man and the administration is making, okay? So we have to pray for peace. We have to trust no one, okay? Because as you can see, this is what's going on. Our own government is turning against us. Even Black people don't feel safe. Some white people don't feel safe that are maybe Canadian born or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. There's a lot of racial profiling going on right now. I think I'm more nervous about the racial profiling than I am about Iran's bombs dropping right here in Ohio or elsewhere. However, I do think, in my own personal opinion, that soon there's going to be something dropping on somebody's Pentagon or White House, just because you can't mess with these other countries and try to dictate other countries and think that people are not going to get upset. You cannot get on national television and threaten other people that you will take their lives and think that these people will not retaliate. It will be nonsense and foolish for anyone to think that another human being will not get just as upset and retaliate in their own way. That is my personal opinion only. I thank you all for being here so much. And most likely, it is almost 11 o'clock, and there's a lot of things changing by the hour. Just like Yellow Man, he's constantly on his period. So he's constantly going through a menstrual cycle. So at sometimes he's saying one thing, and then another time he's saying another. It's a constant change of personality, but it's because he's on his menstrual cycle. You know, he broke up with Elon, and there's a whole bunch of things going on there. He's in his feelings. Korea and Putin, North Korea and Putin, they're laughing at him, and he's just a big laughing stock. And us as the United States, unfortunately, folks cannot trust us anymore. We are losing the faith that people hold in the democracy of the United States. And so this is why I have this podcast, because this is a neutral podcast. However, I am very direct here, and we love everybody. Yes, we support LGBTQ community, because sometimes I always get it wrong when I add the extra letter to it. But we support everybody here, everybody. Okay, Black, white, blue, purple, anybody who you are welcome here. Gay, lesbian, transsexual, whatever you are, pansexual, I don't care who you are welcomed here, because at the end of the day, we are all suffering in one way or another. Okay, the tariffs hits everybody's pockets. It destroys everybody's jobs. When immigration picks up innocent people and disperses them and brings them far away from their family, that affects everybody. It doesn't just affect that immediate family, it affects the businesses nearby. If you go up the street and you see some businesses closed, let me tell you why. Because Maria, Jose, Julio, Darwin, and everybody else was running that kitchen, and they are no longer there. They were running those restaurants, and they're no longer there. So goodbye to all the triple Trumpers who like their Taco Tuesdays. There's no more Taco Tuesdays in this country. And when they get bored, they're going to want all the Spanish people back. They're going to want all the Black people back that they disgraded, you know, because they're talking about Black people like we ain't nobody no more. Like as if that second, second class citizenship that they gave to us after the so-called emancipation that was only, remember that, don't forget that Emancipation Proclamation, people want to put Abraham Lincoln on a pedestal, but remember that the Emancipation Proclamation was only signed forcefully because he wanted to save his people. He wanted to save his guys. He wanted to save his military. He wanted to be in the middle. He didn't want anybody to hate him, but he wanted to make sure that he won that war. And however he was going to do it, he was going to do it. And if he had to sign that proclamation in order to do his due diligence or satisfy himself, he was going to do just that. So let's not put Abraham Lincoln on nobody's pedestal. However, with the good old FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, when he was a president, when he tried to put into place a little bit of liberties, I would say, Social Security, help, medical coverage, or, ways to take care of the people. And so when he put into place all of these things, they were to help everybody of every skin color. It doesn't matter what he was thinking in his head. Everybody could think what they think. Yellow man can think what he thinks, but he should have took advantage, came into the office and did what he had to do for the people and change. He came in to destroy the people, and I don't blame him. The reason why I say I don't blame him is because it was the people who went to the poll to vote in a yellow man that is a convicted felon. So this is what happens, and this is what is occurring. So I shall be back on here again, indeed, to keep you all updated as much as possible, God willing. And I thank you all for being here and listening, because it is a pleasure, and you guys are helping me little by little to build this channel, because people need to hear this information. It's free to hear, free to consume, but we need, as a whole, as people, consume the proper information and analyze it, put it on a platter, and see what the deal is with it. Pick and choose what sounds right. Just like if you all are hearing me here, of course, you guys can come out of the live and then you all pick and choose how everything balances out with the news that you're receiving on your end, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you all again for listening and staying tuned in, and you all have a beautiful and blessed evening. If I don't come back on for the night, I'm going to keep up as much as possible. Thank you all.